Kash Patel sat across from someone who wasn't going to let him dodge a single question. Ted Lieu, Democrat from California. But before he ever entered politics, Lieu served as a JAG officer in the United States Air Force, a military prosecutor who tried cases, conducted investigations, and learned how to spot evasive answers in seconds. And during a congressional hearing, he used every bit of that courtroom discipline to press the FBI director on one explosive issue: the Jeffrey Epstein files. Patel clearly did not want to discuss anything related to Jeffrey Epstein. But Lieu didn't approach it the way others had. He didn't ask broad, easily deflected questions. He focused on what the FBI should have done but didn't. He asked about evidence that should have been reviewed but wasn't. And then he delivered the question that Patel refused to answer directly. Is Donald Trump on Jeffrey Epstein's client list? To understand why that moment mattered, you have to understand who Ted Lieu is. Lieu graduated from Stanford University with degrees in computer science and political science. He earned his law degree from Georgetown. Then he joined the Air Force as a Judge Advocate General Officer. As a JAG, he prosecuted cases, defended service members, handled court-martials, conducted investigations, and reviewed complex legal matters. In that world, "I don't know" is rarely an acceptable answer, especially when you're the one responsible for knowing. Evasion gets challenged immediately. After active duty, Lieu continued serving in the Air Force Reserve, eventually reaching the rank of colonel before retiring in 2021. He went on to serve in the California State Assembly, then the State Senate, and was elected to Congress in 2014. Today, Lieu serves on the House Judiciary Committee, which oversees the FBI, and the House Foreign Affairs Committee. He's known for being precise, disciplined, and fact-driven. He doesn't rely on theatrics. He cites sources. He references documents. And he doesn't move on until he gets clarity. That's who Kash Patel was facing. Not someone chasing a viral moment, but a former military prosecutor trained to detect non-answers. Lieu began with the foundation. The FBI searched Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan residence in 2019. Correct? Patel confirmed the search occurred, noting there were actually 2 locations involved. Lieu continued. During that search, the FBI found a safe. Correct? Patel hesitated. I don't have the catalog of evidence in front of me. Consider that response. The FBI director claiming he doesn't have the evidence catalog for one of the most high-profile criminal investigations in modern American history. Lieu repeated the question plainly. In that residence, the FBI found a safe. Correct? Patel responded, I'll accept your representation. Not a direct yes. Not confirmation from his own knowledge. Instead, he deferred to the congressman's statement, as though the member of Congress was more certain about the FBI's evidence than the FBI director himself. And in that moment, the contrast was unmistakable: a former military prosecutor demanding accountability, and a director unwilling to give a straight answer. Then Ted Lieu moved to the next step. What was inside the safe? And in that safe, the FBI found inappropriate photographs. Correct. Once again, Kash Patel avoided a direct confirmation. I'll accept your representation. I don't know. Lieu didn't argue. He thanked him, then made a critical point. This wasn't classified mystery material. It was widely reported at the time. He cited the New York Times, July 8, 2019. The article detailed that inappropriate photographs were discovered in a safe inside Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan mansion. This wasn't rumor. It was front page, national news coverage. And yet the FBI director claimed he didn't know. At this point, Lieu had built the factual foundation. Asterisk, the safe existed. Asterisk, the photographs existed. Asterisk, the FBI seized them. Now he added another layer. Lieu introduced author Michael Wolff, who conducted extensive interviews with Epstein. According to Wolff, Epstein personally showed him the contents of that safe. Lieu then played a video clip of Wolff describing what Epstein claimed was inside. While the transcript doesn't detail the clip's exact wording, it clearly set up the next line of questioning, and that's where things became extraordinary. The FBI, apparently, never interviewed Michael Wolff. Consider that carefully. An author who spent hours interviewing Jeffrey Epstein. An author who claims Epstein showed him evidence. an author who reportedly has extensive recorded conversations. And the FBI investigating one of the most high-profile criminal cases in modern history may not have interviewed him. Lieu asked directly, "Have you asked to talk to Michael Wolff?" Patel responded, "You raise a great point." That wasn't an answer. It was a deflection framed as agreement. Lieu pressed harder. "Has the FBI interviewed Michael Wolff?" Patel replied, "I'm not saying they haven't. I just don't know." There it was again. I don't know. The FBI director didn't know whether his own agency interviewed a potentially key witness. Lieu continued, "Has the FBI subpoenaed the tapes that Michael Wolff recorded of Jeffrey Epstein?" Patel, "I don't know." Again, reportedly 100 hours of Jeffrey Epstein on tape, and the FBI director didn't know whether the Bureau had attempted to obtain them. Lieu asked Patel to provide the information later, then shifted to the most politically explosive area of all, the relationship between Epstein and Donald Trump. Lieu stated plainly, "As you know, Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were friends. There are photos of them together." "Correct." Patel answered cautiously, "I don't have the entirety of the photographs, but I think they've been photographed in public together." Then came the pivotal question. "Are there any compromising photos showing Donald Trump?" Patel responded immediately, "No." Lieu stopped him. "How do you know that?" Patel's explanation was striking. He said that if such photos existed, they would have surfaced by now, over the course of multiple administrations and FBI investigations spanning the last 20 years. In other words, his certainty wasn't based on direct knowledge of the evidence. It was based on the assumption that if something damaging existed, someone would have leaked it. That reasoning, confidence built on the absence of exposure, became the defining moment of the exchange. That's not an investigation. That's an assumption. Ted Lieu dismantled the logic immediately with a single example. "You know what? That's just not true," he said. No one knew about the birthday message that Donald Trump wrote to Jeffrey Epstein until the Wall Street Journal disclosed it. And then, all of a sudden, the Epstein estate provides it to Congress. Consider what that means. There was a birthday message from Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein. The FBI had the Epstein files. The FBI conducted the investigation. The FBI had enormous resources. And yet they didn't have that message. The Wall Street Journal found it first, published it. Then the Epstein estate turned it over to Congress. So the claim made by Kash Patel that if damaging material existed, it would have surfaced over the last 20 years was demonstrably false. Material had not surfaced. Critical evidence had been missing. And Patel's certainty that no compromising photos exist was based not on confirmed knowledge, but on the assumption that someone would have leaked them by now. Lieu then pivoted to the estate itself. Wouldn't it be great if the FBI subpoenaed the estate of Jeffrey Epstein for all that information? Patel's answer stunned the room. The estate is under no obligation to provide that material, even pursuant to a subpoena. Lieu immediately responded, "That's just false." Then came the line that defined the entire exchange. "You're the freaking FBI. You can subpoena the information from the estate, and you better do that." It wasn't theatrical outrage. It was pointed frustration. Because Patel appeared to be suggesting that the FBI, an agency that routinely subpoenas phone records, bank records, corporate documents, emails, and financial data, was somehow powerless to obtain materials from a private estate. Patel insisted, that's literally not how it works. But Liu's underlying point had already landed. If the FBI truly wanted the information, it has legal mechanisms to pursue it. So the question becomes unavoidable. If they can get it, why haven't they? Is it inability or unwillingness? From there, Lieu moved to the most controversial topic of all, the alleged client list. For years, the existence of an index of names connected to Epstein's files has fueled speculation, FOIA requests, lawsuits, and congressional demands. Patel had previously acknowledged that such an index exists. Attorney General Pam Bondi has also publicly discussed related materials. Lieu began with a name already tied to public reporting. Is Prince Andrew on Epstein's client list? Patel deflected. The material related to Prince Andrew has been made public. That wasn't an answer. Lieu asked again more directly. Is Prince Andrew on the client list? Patel responded, we have released the index of names that were in Jeffrey Epstein's files.
Still no yes. Still no.
Then Lieu asked the question that had been building all along. Is Donald Trump on Epstein's client list? Patel's reply was careful, measured, and unmistakably evasive. The index has been released, and the index will speak for itself. Not yes. Not no. The index will speak for itself. If the answer were clearly no, it could have been stated plainly. Instead, Patel chose a formulation that avoided direct confirmation or denial, and in congressional hearings, sometimes what isn't said becomes just as significant as what is. If Donald Trump's name is not on the list, that should be the easiest answer in the world. Just say no. But Kash Patel didn't say no. He said, the index will speak for itself. Let's step back and look at what actually happened in that exchange with Ted Lieu. This wasn't one vague response. It was a pattern. A consistent pattern of the FBI director claiming uncertainty about one of the most high-profile criminal investigations in modern American history involving Jeffrey Epstein. Patel said he didn't know whether the FBI interviewed author Michael Wolff. He said he didn't know whether the FBI subpoenaed Wolff's recorded interviews, reportedly around 100 hours of conversations with Epstein. He said he did not have the evidence catalog from Epstein's Manhattan residence in front of him. Yet at the same time, he expressed certainty that no compromising photographs of Donald Trump exist. That certainty was not based on confirmed review of the evidence. It was based on an assumption that if such material existed, it would have surfaced over the past 20 years. But that logic had already been undermined when the Wall Street Journal revealed the previously undisclosed birthday message from Trump to Epstein, a document that was not publicly known until the media reported it, after which the Epstein estate provided it to Congress. In other words, significant material had not surfaced until journalists found it. Patel also suggested that the FBI could not compel the Epstein estate to turn over materials, implying that even a subpoena would not obligate compliance. That claim raised immediate questions about either his understanding of FBI authority or the way he was characterizing it. And then came the central question. Is Donald Trump on Jeffrey Epstein's client list? Patel did not say yes. He did not say no. He said the index will speak for itself. Now, refusing to answer does not prove Trump is on the list. But it also does not confirm he isn't. What it does show is that Patel chose not to give a direct answer. If Trump is not on the list, why not say so clearly? Why rely on a formulation that avoids confirmation or denial? There are possible explanations. Perhaps Patel does not want to establish a precedent of confirming or denying individual names from investigative files. Perhaps he believes referencing the released index is sufficient. Or perhaps there are other considerations at play. But from a public accountability standpoint, the result is the same: no direct answer. Here's what Liu's questioning established in a matter of minutes. Asterisk, the FBI seized a safe from Epstein's residence containing evidence. Asterisk, the FBI director claimed limited knowledge of the specific evidence catalog. Asterisk, a prominent author has extensive recorded interviews with Epstein, and the FBI director could not confirm whether they were obtained. Asterisk, the investigative file did not initially include certain material later revealed publicly, such as Trump's birthday message. Asterisk, the FBI's authority to compel materials from the Epstein estate was described in a way that drew immediate pushback. Asterisk, and the FBI director declined to directly state whether Donald Trump appears on Epstein's client list. Lieu, a former JAG officer in the United States Air Force, did not rely on rhetoric or speculation. He asked structured, prosecutorial questions. Did the FBI interview this witness? Yes or no? Did the FBI subpoena this evidence? Yes or no? Is this person on the list? Yes or no? The responses followed a pattern. I don't know. I'll accept your representation. The index will speak for itself. Those answers leave two possibilities. Either the FBI director does not know key details about his agency's investigation, or he knows and is unwilling to state them publicly. Either scenario invites scrutiny. The public interest in the Epstein case remains intense because it involves allegations of powerful individuals, potential institutional failures, and unanswered questions that have persisted for years. Direct answers reduce speculation. Indirect answers fuel it. As long as those direct answers are not given, the questions will continue, from Ted Lieu, from other members of Congress, and from members of the public who believe the full truth about Jeffrey Epstein's activities should be transparent and complete.